Did you know that 50% of millennials have a side hustle? And 70% of Gen Zs have a side hustle. And by the year 2027, it's said that 83% of Americans are also going to be working in what's called the gig economy, aka having their own side hustle. Guys, chances are if you clicked onto this video right now, you are either part of the statistics that already have a side hustle, or you have a strong desire to be part of the 83% of people that are waking up and cluing on to creating more money on the thing called the internet. And guys, in this video, I'm gonna be teaching you how you can start your own side hustle, even if you're a busy full-time worker. So let's get into it. Guys, if you still haven't yet clued on that the world is just getting so much more expensive, then it's about time you do. I started my first side hustle when I was 21, nearly 9 years ago. I did it before it was actually cool, but when I started for the same reasons as why you're probably looking at this video. I was making not much money at all. I was working over 60 hours a week, and I'd come home at the end of every single week. When I got paid, I would just think, there's got to be more to it than this. So I started to get crazy busy. I started to look around for different ways to make some extra money, and lo and behold, I started to find things. I used my side hustle to get myself out of my full-time job by 23, and I've since gone on to grow multiple companies and travel all around the world and be a digital nomad and live a life of complete freedom. So I want to give you guys the steps that if I was to start it right now today, this is what I would do. All right, the first thing is you've got to make time for this. Here's the thing. When I was 21 years old and I came home I was a carpenter before I started doing all this, and I was building this side hustle with my friend, and I gave him a call one day and I said to him, dude, how do you have time to actually do this? And he said to me, I make the time. I said, how do you make the time? He says, well, tell me, what do you do when you get home from work? I said, that's easy. When I finish work, I go to the gym for at least an hour, and then I go have for a walk around the park. Then I come home and I have dinner, I go for a shower, I unwind, and then I have to watch a movie, and then it's time to go to bed. I've got no time to build this business. See, here's the thing. You will make time for things that are important for you, or you'll be forced to make time for things that you don't want to later on in life. So which one is it going to be? Make a list right now. All right, if you've got a 9-to-5 job, what do you do between 5 and midnight, right? Because if you're working between 9 and 5, what you actually do between 5 and 9 is the thing that's going to build your financial future. This is going to build your freedom for you. So spend it wisely. So cut out things like Netflix. Cut out things like mindlessly scrolling social media and TikTok and just wasting all your hours that are free that you could be putting into your side hustle, but instead you're doing it just wasting time on social media. Cut out all that shit. Cut out going to the bar after work. Cut out going to the pub or to the nightclub with the girls or the guys on the weekend, where you're just spending your money and you're killing your brain cells. If you're really serious about creating more money in your life, creating more success in your life, and creating more freedom, then you have to have these temporary losses, things that aren't important to you. Okay? So make a list of all the things that you do outside of your normal work hours and have a look at what can you actually cut off. Okay, and where can you make time within your busy schedule that you can actually put into some effort and energy into creating your side hustle? Number 2 is you must have short-term sacrifice for long-term freedom. This was the main thing that stuck in my head in the beginning. I created this saying in my head. I said, Morgan, you are never going to have a new level of freedom without sacrificing your current level of freedom. And it's so true. You can't come home from work and think that you can have all the freedom to spend time with all your friends, all your family, and your partner, and your dog, and your parrot, and watch Netflix and TikTok and swipe on Tinder and do all the crazy shit that you're doing right now, and pull time out of your ass and create this business or this side hustle, or whatever it's going to be. It's just not going to happen. So you've got to make the decision. Are you going to sacrifice some short-term freedom right now so you can have long-term freedom in the future? Or will your long-term freedom be the ultimate sacrifice because you chose to have short-term freedom now? Make up your mind. Which one is it going to be? But ultimately, I made this ultimatum. I said to myself, I'm happy to come home at the end of every single workday and keep working on my business. I remember I would get up at 4 a.m. I would get ready. I'd go to work. I'd drive an hour and a half to work. I'd work on the job site for about 12 hours. I'd come home. I'd go to the gym. I would get home, showered, have eaten dinner, gone to the gym by about 8 o'clock at night, And then I would work my side hustle for 4 hours every single night till about midnight. I would sleep for 4 hours. I'd get up. I'd do it all again. Now, some of you may be thinking that's absolutely crazy. And to be honest, I don't really recommend that for everybody. But I was so hungry to get out of my freaking job. Every single day when I was driving to work and I got stuck in traffic and I was on a shit job or I had a crappy boss or whatever, all these things would motivate me to when I got home, I would very happily work to midnight because I knew it wouldn't be like that forever. I was happy to work like that for about 6 to 12 months in order to create the freedom that I needed. And sure enough, by doing that, I think it was about 8 to 12 months later of really having these crazy late night sacrifices, I was able to completely quit my job and I never went back. What's up, Dream Nation? Have you ever wondered how far ahead your life would have already been if you had got access to this type of content at a younger age? Look, this is why I need your help. I'm trying to build the #1 personal development platform out there to teach you guys the tips, tricks, and attitude of what it takes to live your dream life and to bring the type of education that we all wish we had in school. This show only grows by word of mouth and new subscribers, so it would mean the world to me if you could smash that subscribe button right now, leave us a 5-star written review or drop a comment below and share this episode with a friend. I would be forever grateful. All right, now let's get back into this episode. All right, the third thing that you need to do is once you've cleared your schedule and you've made the decision that you're actually going to make short-term sacrifices so you can have long-term freedom, what do you fill your new space with if you don't have a side hustle? This is what you've got to do some study on, okay? So do some actual study. Google, get in there and see what are some types of side hustles that are actually out there right now. If you want me to do a video actually on what sort of side hustles are the best to start in 2023, drop a comment below or message me on Instagram at Morgan T. Nelson and let me know. If that's valuable for you, I'll make a video on that as well. But spend this time now doing some study, okay? And don't spend too long. Spend like 1 or 2 days maximum. Get a big list of all these different side hustles, things that are out there right now. Go and find some people that are actually living the life that you want, see how they created it, and see if there's anything that you can actually learn from these people because success leaves clues. Now, the fourth thing to do is now you've got a list of all these different side hustles and things that you could do. Which one do you choose? The answer is this: the one that brings you the most joy. Now, a lot of people are going to say no to that, but here's why. Because if you're brand new into the entrepreneur space, you're going to need to form a habit of actually getting up and motivating yourself. Because when you're at your job, if you don't perform well, you get smacked around the head. Your manager gets up you, your boss, you might get fired. Who knows what happens at work? So you've got this carrot and stick motivation when you're at work. But when you come home and you're building your own side hustle, there's no one there to look over your shoulder and say, hey, have you done your messages today? Have you done that post on social media today? Have you recorded that video today? Because no one's there for you. So you've got to start to build this muscle within and actually develop good positive habits that you know are going to help you succeed in the long term. So when you start, find something that's actually going to give you joy, something you like, something you're good at already. Why? Because you want to work with the grain. You want to work with the grain. You want to do things that are easier, that are going to be a little bit more effortless for you so you can start to get into the habit of actually coming home and starting your own business on the side. See, if you pick something that was super crazy hard, like learning Facebook ads or e-com or whatever, like that's hard for me. I don't like that. If you pick something like that you just weren't programmed for and you don't get any joy out of, you are going to have to motivate the shit out of yourself every single day to do this thing because you just don't even like it from the get-go. So I would rather you start a side hustle that you get joy out of, that you're excited about, because this is going to help you start to build the habit of actually what it takes to be successful. Now, the second thing to look for in which side hustle might be best for you is this. Pick the one that brings you the most type of money. What do I mean by type of money? Let's say if you were to pick a side hustle like driving Uber, that's not that fantastic because you're still trading time for money. So you only get paid for the amount of hours that you can actually drive. Now, it's okay, it's not too bad, but it's not going to really get you out of the rat race unless you know how to take that extra money now and start investing and creating passive income. But if we're talking about side hustles, you really want to look for something that's going to give you a good type of income, like a residual income, like network marketing, affiliate marketing, e-commerce, Shopify, these sorts of things like this, where you can set it up and build a system or an organization that continually pays you when you're sleeping and while you're at work. Or if you can't get that, look for something that's going to allow you to develop a high income skill set. So something that's going to allow you to get good at sales, marketing, copywriting. These three right here are high income skill sets. If you can become a master at sales, online marketing, or copywriting, amongst so many other things as well, you'll not only be able to get paid some awesome extra money on the side, but people will pay a lot of money for that type of work. And the last tip is this: you've got to invest in courses, mentors, coaches. And here's the thing. Here's the real kicker. Invest in coaches that are actually successful in that industry that you're building your side hustle in. This is freaking huge. Listen to this. So if you're committing to building a network marketing business, for example, go and find people who can coach you and mentor you that have built and are still building a successful network marketing business, because they understand that business specifically. If you're building an e-com business, go and find somebody who can mentor you that has built successful e-com businesses, because they understand exactly that industry. If you're getting out in coaching, go and learn from someone who's a successful coach, who's a business coach, and who's done what you want to actually do, because they understand that industry, your business model, and the needs and things that you're going to actually need, and the struggles that you're going to go through, and they're going to be able to help you actually overcome them. What you don't want to do is go and start a coaching career and go get advice from, I don't know, someone who's building an e-com store, because they've got no freaking idea what your business model is all about and what your industry is all about, okay? Don't make this mistake. I see people do this all the freaking time. Stay in your lane, pick the industry, pick the side hustle that's going to work for you, then go and find who the best person in that industry is, pay to get in close proximity with them and get around them so you can learn exactly from them. And if you can't find something like that, join a mastermind. Join something where there's other people that are also hungry like you, that are ambitious, that are entrepreneurs, that are wanting to be successful, because that attitude, that camaraderie, that community is going to help shape you and shift you into the person that you need to become, so you can actually have a successful side hustle and a successful life on the end. So there you have it, guys. That is what I would do if I was to start a side hustle right now again. And in fact, it's the exact steps I took when I was 21 years old to start my first side hustle. That gave me financial freedom by 23 years old, and I ended up moving to Mexico. I lived in Bali, United States, Europe. I lived all around the world, and I've been traveling since, and now I've been able to teach me the skills to build now 2 super successful companies as well. So if you're thinking about starting your own side hustle while you're working a full-time job, you are on the right track. Listen to this video again. Apply the things I teach, and drop a comment below if you guys want me to make a video for you guys on how to pick the right side hustle and what types of side hustles are available right now in 2023. And if you got value from this video, check out the video that we did last week, because in that video, I teach you what I've learned after investing $200,000 in my own personal development, and it's not what you think. So if you got value from this, subscribe, leave a comment, do the things that you do, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next episode. Until then, dream out loud. Thank you so much for listening. And if you got value from this episode, it goes such a long way. If you can just take 20 seconds of your time, leave me a 5-star rating and written review, then screenshot this episode and share it to your story. And make sure you tag me for that shout out. And until next time, guys, go out there and dream out loud.